Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rekak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who teach and rule well and who I learn from daily. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect Akim pushing this word with truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the multitude of believers, or the Akim and Akwat listening and learning. So-called Negro, Latino, and Native American are the Israelites, God's chosen people of the Bible, all right, who is only begotten son, who the world ignorantly calls JC. All right, his true name is Yahushai. All right, in the Hebrew, meaning he, deliverer, or he is the savior. All right, and he's coming only for the nation of Israel. This includes the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigner who may look like the heathen, but their father's line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, where the promise was given unto Jacob, who was surnamed Israel. Okay, Yasher Allah, he prince of the power. All right. So Lord willing, this be an edifying lesson. You know, just a warning of things to come. All right. May brothers and sisters be observant of the times we're in. All right. And walk circumspectly and just know that, hey, as this thing moves forward, as prophecy unfolds, a more, affliction will be dealt your way, all right? As we're seeing, major and minor events, everything in Matthew's, the 24th chapter is happening, all right? You have uproars of the people. America is at a civil tipping point of a civil war. All right. And, a persecution not only upon, all right, who this devil in charge deems as doomsday prophets, but on all Jake, okay? As they're accusing their brethren, as it says in the Revelation, the 12th chapter. All right. But I'm going to start out here in 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. In the NLT it says there will be very difficult times. And that's right. We are entering very difficult times. Hey, much affliction will be felt. Let's get that in Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, Jacob's trouble, because this is where we're all leading to. This is where prophecy is headed. All right, let's see what it says in verse 6 first. Actually, I'm going to start at 5. For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail. All right, and all faces are turned to paleness. Okay, like a man, about to, be in labor, child labor. These days that's not too far fetched as crazy as it sounds. All right, this devil's truly turned the things upside down, but besides the point, this is coming. All right, where it's going to be so bad you're going to see men sick to their stomach. All right, and this tension is going to, nevertheless, whether it happens today or a year from now, pop. Verse 7, alas, for that day is so great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. The elect will be saved out of it through the midst of all this chaos. All right. Let's see what great. That day is so great. Actually goes into shortened. Well, in the Strongs, shortened, which, hey, these days will be shortened for the elect's sake. Okay. Down here at the bottom, sore, very, very sore. That was in the Strong's definition. Intensity, great in intensity. These days are going to be intense. Okay. And we ain't seen, we ain't seen a thing. Look at Nepal right now. How these, they overthrew they government, man. All over bans from my knowledge, from bans of not being able to get access to certain platforms and apps. All right, what happens when America comes to that? Because TikTok might not be on the table anymore. They might bring that back in and ban that. All right, what's going to happen when that happens? What's going to happen when the famine of the word is in all-out effect? Because this last event with Charlie Kirk, they could, hey, as we know that the censorship is coming. All right, from platforms like Palantir, Gideon, Palantir. There's another one that is linked to Verizon that the small hats own. And pretty much it gave them access to and is being used to monitor pretty much everything you do on your phone. All right. I'll just watch the video. I'll have to refind it and bring out that in a lesson. But all out surveillance and the things that's coming, it's going to be enforced censorship, and you will be, sought out if you're going against what this devil has in plan. Okay, so let's continue with this lesson, because really just want to, be this lesson to be a warning, of things to come. Jacob's trouble is a thing to come that could possibly unfold, very shortly. We don't know when it's gonna unfold. We know that the MOTB has to be released, but this time of chaos, time of civil war, time of all these things coming to pass, as the scriptures say. For one, you don't want to get caught up in it, and for two, you want to be aware of the times that you're in. See, it says here in the book of Proverbs 22:3, it says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." All right. So you don't want to be, in the house of mirth, or, you want to know what mindset to be in, so you're not walking around unawares, so you don't get caught up in calamity. All right. As the world would call it, an innocent bystander. All right. You don't want to catch a stray bullet for nothing. Okay. That's what what it says here in Ephesians, the 5th chapter, and the 15th verse. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. All right. Hey, the Lord gave the elect, the hopeful elect, all right, well, the elect, to the vision to see. All right. So use that vision, and don't be, just walking around with your head in the clouds. Okay. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. See what it says to redeem. G 1805. It's a gorazo, a payment of price to recover from power of another. Right here, this is what we want. It says to make wise and sacred use of every opportunity for doing good, so that zeal and well-doing are as it were the purchase money by which we make the time of our own. So making wise and sacred use of every opportunity. Okay? And when you do that, you're taking it in. Hey, not only making the most of your time, making your bodies a living sacrifice for Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, but taking in, what's around you. As if your life depended on it, because it will. And ultimately, we're protected by Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai. The Elohim are watching over us. Lord, will we be a part of that number? Let's see. Because only the Lord can deliver us. That's what Paul said. I believe Paul said this in the book of Acts. Much. Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. So it's gonna be it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be tough. All right, your faith will be tested. Hey, we're seeing how this devil can use any and everything, to blame Jake, to justify this great wrath that they about to put forth, this hell that they're gonna, put forward on Jake, and deem us to be whatever we are, whether that you in the truth or not. All right, they coming for you. And they're going to be justified in their wickedness through the eyes of this world. All right. Let's get that first Peter. But that's what we got to suffer those straight things. Hey, I'll get that. To receive the wide. The things of this world. All right, to receive the kingdom. So it says in 2nd Esdras, right? This is 1 Peter 5 and 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, Because your adversary the devil as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world, right? Hey, the body goes through this, and will go through it. All right, not just you. Hey, and guess what? We got Yahweh Shemiel Shai on our side. I'm gonna read this in the NLT. It says, "Stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy." Sakia. Watch out for your great enemy. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. So that's it. You gotta be vigilant in these times. Be sober. Stay prayed up. Stay in be in a mental state of awareness when you're outside. When you go outside, really go outside with a purpose, a reason. Just don't be outside to be outside. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Hey, take heed to the warning. Take heed to the times that we're in. Let's get I'll grab this real quick and then we'll go to 8. Actually, scratch that. This is 2nd Esdras 8. Actually, it's gonna be 7. So I can 2nd Esdras 7. And in 14 it says if then they that labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. Actually, where am I at? Slakia, give me 1 second. I think that's what I wanted. Oh, nope, I wanted 18 right here. It says, nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer the straight things and hope for the wide. And the wide, represents the kingdom. Okay, the straight things is the chastisements of this world, the sufferings of this world. It says, for they have done wickedly, have suffered the straight things, all right? Meaning the trials that we're going to go through in this world, all right, this time, Jacob's trouble being one of them. And shall not see the wide and not be on the first go around. All right. So, and that's what it is. They won't see the kingdom firsthand. They'll be as the elder out of Chicago, Elder Malcolm calls them nutsack Israelites, umbilical cord Israelites. You have to, know death by pain before you enter the kingdom. You will be caught up. All right. As the book of Jeremiah says, a sword to the sword, famine to the famine. Wherever your lot lies, wherever the judgment that Yahweh Shemiel Shai brings to your wicked ass, that he sees fit. Okay? But we all gonna suffer through it, but the elect shall be saved out of it. So with that, I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, the message was made, the point was made, and it was edifying With that, I want to say, call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Till the next time, say Shalom.